Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and today is my first update for my Pandit palette for 2022. As you can see, this year I'm working on my Colourpop Wild Nothing palette, and let me tell you, we have some juicy pans in this palette. So I would say I'm just quickly showing you where I started with this palette. So I have a little video from my intro video. And you can see I didn't have any pans in the palette, but I do have some dips in some of the shades, but not really a lot going on. And this is what my palette is looking like now. And as you can see, I'm very happy with my progress because I was able to hit pan in 5 eyeshadows in here. So I feel like I do have a really great start with this project. I do love this palette. I love reaching into it and it's just a pleasure to use. So I don't know what to say about it. It's just a lovely palette. Everything I said about it before is true. It's just a perfect everyday palette for me, and it's not a problem at all to reach into it at least for one of the eyeshadows each day. So I would say let's go through this palette and talk about each individual eyeshadow in here. So let's start with the first shade here. So this one here I just use every day to set my eyeshadow primer. I often use a concealer for priming my eyelids, so this is the perfect eyeshadow to just set it. It has a bit of a sparkle in it. It's not my favorite, but in these light mattes it's okay for me, so I just tap it off when I use a brush. I go into the shade and then I tap it off, and then usually almost all of the sparkle falls off from the brush. And then I just have this beautiful cream matte eyeshadow, and yeah, it's just perfect for every day. I also do use it sometimes for like blending out deeper eyeshadows, so it's a very versatile eyeshadow for me and I can easily use it every day. That's why the pan in it is so enormous already, because I just use a lot of it. So I feel like this will be the first eyeshadow that I will be using up in this palette, and I'm very excited with the progress in this one here because yeah, it's quite an accomplishment. I'm very happy with it. So I hope that I can have this kind of a progress every month in this eyeshadow, so that it will be done in, let's say, 3 months or so. That would be perfect. Then the next eyeshadow here is a Super Shock, and I decided like in the middle of the month that I'm not focusing on both of the Super Shocks in here, but that I'm just focusing on this one because I did notice that if I use both of them like every other day, then I cannot really hit pan in it fast. So I wanted to have some pan in one of these, so I decided to just go with this one because both of them pretty much do the same thing. They just have a tiny bit of a color difference. So this one here is lighter and more like a bright gold, and this one here has a bit of a nude, almost bronzy base to it, and then more of like a neutral sparkle. So I just decided to just concentrate on this one first and hit pan in this one here first. And that's what I did, and it's lovely to use. I love it so much. I kind of just want to use it every day and just pop it onto my lid like a finishing touch for every look that I do. So I really have to stop myself from using it. So this is lovely to use. I love it so much. Then this one here, I decided to just use it as an inner corner highlight every day, and I do also use it as a brow bone highlight, and it's perfect for that. First, I thought that it would be a bit too deep for me, so that it would show up on my inner corner, that it's not bright enough, but it actually is. So I found the right brush to use with it. It's a bit more of a dense, fluffy brush, I would say. It's not my usual inner corner brush, so I feel like that's why it works better. And also I wet the brush and then has a really lovely shine to it. So really do enjoy this one here. So another one I could hit pan in, and I hope that I have a lot of progress to show you next month in this one. So I will continue to use it almost every day as an inner corner highlight. Then this one here was one that I wasn't really focusing on. I did use it quite some time. I do have a bit of a dip going. I don't know if you can see it. I just started working on it. This is one of the eyeshadows in this palette that is a bit more harder pressed, so it's not so easy to see progress in here, so I feel like this will take a bit longer to hit pan, but I will continue to use it, and I hope that next update we will see an even deeper dip than we see today. And the same goes for this one here, Morning Side. It's such a beautiful, lovely, light orangey color. And this one is also pretty hard pressed, so it's the same like with this one. It just takes longer to really see some progress in this eyeshadow, and I wasn't really focusing on it. So I feel like when I start to really focus on this shade and on this shade, then we will see more progress. This one here, Seashells, has a pretty good dip going. I love it so much. These two here are two of my absolute favorites in this palette, and yeah, I have to stop myself from using them. I love both of them so much. So this one here as well, it has an even deeper dip than this one, so I feel like these two here will be no problem at all. Then this one here I talked before, it's another Super Shock, and I love it very much, and I think that this is the next one I want to hit pan on, but I will discuss that in the end. But I really do love it, and I did use it quite some time, so I feel like this is another one where it won't take long to hit pan. Then this one here is, I would say, the most warm-toned crease shade in this palette for me, and I started to work on it so that I don't have it like, you know, for the last month. I don't want to have, I don't want this to happen again this year, so I really want to hit pan on it fast, so I think that this will be one of the eyeshadows I want to focus on next month. This one here, Hot Springs, it's a beautiful mauve with some sparkle in it. The sparkle, again, I wouldn't need it in matte eyeshadows, but I feel like it's good for the formula because this one is a lot softer and less hard pressed, and I feel like it's easier to hit pan in it. And also the formula is really beautiful to blend out, so I really did enjoy using it. And then the next one is, I would say, the most cool toned eyeshadow in here, and it's another one. I started to work on it at the end of last month, and I can really see a dip going on now. I hope that you can see it too. And I think this is one, I feel like this eyeshadow is like Volatile from last year's Norina palette. It's the one that I can always use, that I can always, you know, put into my crease every day. So it's not a shade that I really have to work on because it's the one I automatically reach for every day. So yeah, I think this will be an easy one for me. And then the last one, I'm very proud of hitting pan in this one, is the dark brown in here. And I discovered something that isn't perfect because this one here is actually a tiny bit too warm toned for me, and also a bit too light to use it as an eyeliner and also to use it in my brows. So that would be great if, it would be great if I could use it in both two ways, because it's kind of the most useful for me for a shade like this. So I think at some point I will repress it and franken it into a bit of a more cool toned and deeper eyeshadow, but for now it stays as it is, because what I did is I just mix it together with another eyeshadow and use both of them together and create the perfect shade for me. But I feel like it would be more convenient and more easy to use this whole palette if I just have one eyeshadow that is already the perfect shade for me. So I will be repressing this one, but I don't think that I will do it in the next month because my life is a bit crazy at the moment. I have to go on a lot of work trips and I don't have a lot of time in between, so I think I cannot really repress it in this month, but I will try to do it in the next month, and I will of course film it and show it to you in my next update. So I think my goal for the next month is to just hit more pans than I have already. So at first I want to hit pan in all of the eyeshadows, and then we will set some other goals in the future. So I would say I want to hit pan in this shade here and in these two. I think these three here will be the easiest ones, and then in one of these two. And then I have only 3 shades left for the next month. So maybe it's this one, maybe it's this one, maybe in both of them. That would be awesome. And then I want to hit pan in these two and in this one here. So I feel like that's totally doable. I will take this palette with me on my work trips to, to keep going and to keep focusing on it and to keep working on it. And I think it's a good palette for like work days as well as other normal days, free days, I can use this palette for like everything, for work days, for glamorous evening events. I don't have a lot of them, but you know, if ever I want something glamorous, it's also in this palette. So I feel like I can really do a lot with it. And I love just using, you know, some of the shades and then combining it with other colors and other eyeshadows. And yeah, it's always fun. And I'm really, really happy with this palette. I feel like it was the best choice to choose this palette for this busy year of mine. It's perfect. I feel like another palette would kind of be overwhelming at the moment, but this one here, I feel like it's totally doable. So I'm very, very happy that I have chosen this one, and I want to thank you again for helping me choosing this palette for this year. So that's everything for today. I hope that you did enjoy this video. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. And I wish you all a very, very beautiful day.